folks, the Rush Limbaugh never took, and that always took the weekend off. Remember, he's always want to go golfing or
Oh
or
yeah.
some kind of event. We don't do that here in this network, boy. When we got news, we tell you, we talk about it. And anyway, we got some breaking news for you guys. As you know, we got hurricane, this wonderful hurricane now going down to New Orleans and on the Gulf Coast. It's going to hit New York. It's going to hit Louisiana head on. But before we do that, Bobby, go ahead and do an introduction. Tell you are really fast. Go ahead and do that.
I'm Bobby Hartman, a friend of Mark's, and we talk quite frequently about politics and different things, world events. I'm a musician.
Right. Everything. Everything and
Yep.
everything, and news events, you name it, political events, you name it. We do it all. We do it all here, folks. Is what we do here. But yeah, it's. I want to have Bobby on today because we want to go over what's going on right now with Afghanistan. We got an Afghanistan war crisis. We got a border crisis going on, and now we got a hurricane disaster crisis ahead of us. So I mean, talk about being thrown into the wolves. Well, that's kind of what we are right now. I'm being thrown in the wolves right now. I mean, how much more stuff can we pile on? I mean, besides, also we got earthquakes, by the way, too, as well. We got earthquakes.
Haven't seen the news about that yet, but I'm sure to.
Yeah, we got earthquakes, not on the minor earthquakes, but yeah, we still got earthquakes, by the way. So we're going to talk about what we're going to talk about right now is this hurricane that we're talking about. Refresh my brain again, my memory of this
Ida.
Yeah,
Ida. Yeah, right. It's supposed to hit
New Orleans,
Louisiana coast tomorrow night.
Right.
They're saying it's going to be a Category 4. It's worse than the hurricane from last year.
Oh, this is worse than Hurricane Katrina.
It could pack winds. I think they said like 135 to 150.
Actually, 156. 156. It might be because it's right now is in warm waters. It might be. He said by the time it gets land, it might be a Category 5. The same winds. Get this at 200 mile an hour gust. By the way, Category 5 and storm surge at 90. Storm surge at 95 feet tall. And now,
well, they said the storm was also 300. I believe they said 300 feet or 300 miles wide.
Right, 300 miles wide.
Which is a wide swath of
Louisiana coast, the Gulf Coast, and because of that,
it's affecting Alabama coast and Florida and Louisiana and parts of Texas.
And the thing is, so we this having hurricane warning brings out tornado warnings too as well, because that affects the whole entire Gulf Coast from Texas. Yep. I mean, everything affects it all. And because of this, we want to tell you something here. We did some investigation here on this network, by the way. Remember Mayor Ray Nagin, New Orleans mayor? Remember that guy, 2005?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yep. Hurricane Katrina. Well, remember what George W. Bush did? He ordered the buses. Remember, get buses out to get everybody evacuated. Get buses to New Orleans. Well, guess what? The buses that George W. Bush gave to Mayor Reagan, they were never used. And guess what?
Yeah, I saw. I read your article. Basically said that the buses were sitting there with flat tires and broken batteries and busted this and that, and they don't start, and they don't have any, the starters are bad and all kind of stuff. And so they were going to use those buses to evacuate people, which they could at any time if they would have upkept them, but they didn't.
They didn't keep them up. They didn't keep them up, and therefore it deteriorated. Paint came off. You got leaky water hoses. They got transmission fluid leaking. You got fuel pumps leaking. I mean, it's disaster. I mean, they got battery acid leaking. I mean, they got everything you could possibly think of to take care of these. To evacuate these people. They got the materials, but they never used it. They
Yep.
never use it, and they no
Well,
longer maintain it.
there's a fairly large homeless population, I guess, there in New Orleans. That if they do have to evacuate the area, they're going to really basically have no way to do it. I guess I'm not sure what their logistics are at this point, but it would have helped if they would have maintained those buses and take care of them. And of course, they just let that equipment sit there and rot and go to hell. Apparently,
Yeah, it sure did. They did all right.
Good.
I mean, we called up the mayor's office up, and they actually told us what they did, and they explained it to us in full detail without any questions. It was like you didn't even know who they were talking to.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
I wrote the information down on a piece of paper with everything they'd given me. And it was great because they didn't realize that we put on the air.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, it's terrible that they are not taking care of what they need to take care of that would help in situations like this to get people out of town. And which we all know what happened during Katrina, and this storm is supposedly bigger and stronger than Katrina.
Right. And also, don't forget too.
I just talked to a friend that she's down there, and I asked if she was going to evacuate. She's like, "No, we're going to stay here because last year they gave us the same warnings." And so a lot of people are skeptical. They don't want to leave their homes because they know that every year there's a big hurricane and it's a big threat, and then nothing happens. Not nothing, but oftentimes nothing really big comes out of it. And so a lot of people are just kind of ignoring it. So hopefully we're not going to have that problem again. And that's really what happened.
Yeah.
Katrina is people ignored the warnings and they just didn't take heed and they didn't leave.
But they told. Well, what did George W. Bush do? He got people out of there. I mean, you had Bobby Jindal, the governor.
He offered it to get people out of there.
Yeah, he did.
A lot of them didn't take it.
Yep, a lot of them didn't take it. Yep, and he also brought National Guard out there. I said, there was people he forced out of there. Remember, he said, "I'm going to take in the National Guard," and he brought people out there. And if one guy actually thanked him, said, "Thank you for getting me out of there. Thank you for sending the National Guard in, because hey, this is our job. This is what we had to do. You had to save lives, And yeah, go ahead.
If you ever been to a place that's below sea level, right, you understand that a storm coming with a 10-foot wave or 15-foot wall of water is going to swamp the place. And that's what they did during Katrina, is they had people sitting on their rooftops going, "Help me, help me." And they didn't, like I said, they didn't take the warnings and they didn't leave like they were supposed to. And in often cases, they didn't have the equipment and the foresight to actually use the equipment that was sent there.
And remember George W. Bush brought in National Guard, and what did the mayor do? He didn't want it. The mayor of New Orleans said, "No, we'll be okay. We don't need National Guard in here." And then a day later, after the hurricane came in, said, "Bring the National Guard in. Bring him in." So he's like,
yeah, bring it in. We need to have shelters. Well, you should have heeded the call and got people the hell out of it. But anyway, then we got this other disaster brewing over in Afghanistan, which we've already lost, many lives in Afghanistan, but recently the 13 service people that have lost their lives, and now they're saying on the news that imminent threat.
Yep.
In the next 24 to 36 hours, there's going to be another suicide bomb attempt or whatever.
Right.
And the same people, what do they call them, ISIS-K or something like that.
ISIS-K, that's correct. It's correct.
They went, I think they took out some of them, but it doesn't seem to be bothering them, is what they said, because they're going to mount another attack.
Right. Also, I want to go back. This is a subject here, but no. Back in 2018, when Mayor LaToya became mayor of New Orleans. Mayor LaToya, okay, she
Uh,
became there. She was in New Orleans in 2018. She was elected in May of 2018. Okay, George,
yep.
this is President Trump. President Trump on this day, on August 14th, he said, "I suggest." I suggest and I'm recommending that you build a 200-foot wall, and 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 you will
Flood
have
wall.
people saved. And guess what? The mayor said, no, it's too expensive. It's cost too much money. And they spent, New Orleans spent $34.7 million for the homeless. The wall that Donald Trump asked, recommended the bill be $18 million. $18 million out of $34 million. Do you think they can do that? I think they could have. They could have $12 million to feed the
Well,
homeless.
the truth of the matter is the people that they're feeding won't matter when they all drown. When it's underwater. I mean, hopefully that doesn't happen.
Well, what's going to happen?
A wall, a 200-foot wall that's a flood wall would help save multiple people. Yet, they can't. It's like.
Hey, guess what? How big the wall?
They can't get out of their own way.
Hey, Bobby.
And then why they keep. It's like I said. I think we had a conversation earlier about an alcoholic. If you tell him to quit, he's not going to quit.
Right.
He or she has to quit on their own accord. And if they don't quit, they die.
Right.
Of alcoholism or
right.
their liver quits or whatever.
Right.
And so, these people in New Orleans, they keep electing Democrats that don't take care of the infrastructure and the things they need to do.
Right.
And they're just like the alcoholic. Right. And they just keep voting for them until they drowned in the floodwaters because they're dumbasses. Well, excuse me.
Right.
Because
okay.
These people don't have enough common sense to understand if they don't build the infrastructure to maintain their city, it's going to be underwater.
Right, in their city, exactly. If they maintain their city, that's right, exactly. Also, here's the thing too. We got they built a levee, and guess how tall the levee is? By the way, then they built a wall, but how tall is it?
Is it above sea level? That'd be the important part.
It's 50 feet, and they got a storm surge of 94 feet or 95 feet.
Well, that's not good.
Is it gonna break? Yeah. Is it called mass? Is it called pressure? Yeah. Is water heavy? Yeah. How heavy is water? Well, when you get say 400 tons of water pressure with these hurricanes produce, it's called fraction, and that fraction is called breaking. It's going to give. That's what's going to happen, folks. It's going to give. It's going to have a little hole, and it's going to gush, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. It's going to be a gusher. Imagine you put up a dam up, and that dam fails, and guess where the water has to go somewhere. All that pressure has to release all at once, and guess what? It's going to be in like a tsunami. It's going to be a tsunami pressure. It's just going to happen. It's going to give out, but it's going to push in so far. It's over 300 miles. I mean, the miles of the water is going to be over 300 miles per hour. The water itself. Water's heavy and it's fast, and you don't realize when you put pressure onto something, that pressure is going to give. It's like when you air pump a rifle. When you air pump a rifle, right? One of those air rifles. When you pump it, well, guess what? When you pressure it so much, that forces when you fire it. It forces projectile goes so quickly and so fast. Well, the same thing happens here. It goes so quickly, so fast, you have no control over it.
Right. Well, hopefully, I pray about for the people of New Orleans and that general area down there that's going to get struck by this hurricane. That they've taken the precautions. They got out of town. They've secured the stuff they need to secure, and hopefully there won't be a loss of life.
Well, the mayor said, if you have to leave now, but she said stay indoors if necessary. Is what she said. This is the mayor. New Orleans is like Mayor Reagan over again. Remember, he said the same thing too. So just ride out. You'll be just fine, and just stay indoors. Go play someplace safe. If you have to leave now. But did they leave? Did they take the warning? Some of them did. Some of them did not. You see, that's a problem. We have Bobby Jindal. If you had a Bobby Jindal running for governor, he would be issued 4 days ago. The National Guard. Did the mayor do that? Did the governor of Louisiana? The new governor they got over there is this guy doesn't even know. I mean, he wants to give up vaccines. He wants to get the FEMA people out before give FEMA everybody COVID vaccines. This is Bill Edwards, Bill Edwards, a 45th governor of declared a state emergency, and he wants FEMA to give to call out FEMA for COVID epidemic. Now, this is.
I heard something in the news where they were talking about, warning people about this impending hurricane, and it was really important to get your shot. I don't get the correlation.
I don't get it either. But you sent FEMA, but yet
wait, I'm trying to get out of town, but before I go, I'm going to make an appointment in 3 days to get my shot. I don't know. Ignorance is rampant.
I know. I'm lost here. I'm lost here. I'm lost here because of you're supposed to get your shot, but what about sending National Guard out there instead of being FEMA? I mean, you're going to get FEMA can't set up for the COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, give me a break. Are you kidding me? Really?
Right.
I mean,
right.
you're sending out FEMA to give the pandemic of COVID-19, but yet you won't send National Guard out there. Is there something missing here? I don't know. I don't get this. I don't understand this kind of thinking at all. I don't get this. I don't get everything's backwards here. You send a National Guard out first is what you're supposed to do. Again, we send a National Guard. If Bobby Jindal was governor, you send a National Guard 4 days ago. He would have done that. He was still governor. That's what he would have done. And give people in the shelter and not shelter, but evacuate everybody in the state of Louisiana immediately. Put them in the higher ground to safety immediately. That's what you do. Under Democrat leadership, this is a problem. The Democrats wait until it's almost too late and lives are lost. We're talking about 1,000 lives being lost here with this hurricane, by the way, Bobby.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully there'll be some, they've taken the warning seriously. Hopefully they get out of the area.
Don't count on it. I'm not going to count.
I'm not. I mean, all I can do is pray and hope.
Right.
People are smart enough to know to get out of Dodge. So.
Right. But anyway, we're looking at our projection is exactly what the national the National Weather Service said that we're looking at 1,000 lives lost and the properties and the $3.5 trillion. We just this got a stimulus money, so use the stimulus money to fix New Orleans. There you go. That's what you guys do right now. We just passed a $3.5 trillion bill. So use that money instead of where we're going to use that money for. Give it to New Orleans now, folks. They got it. This is a disaster. So give it to them. They already spent the 3.5. They already have it. They haven't spent it yet. So they just passed that they can spend $3.5 million. See, they passed saying that they're going to spend it. They passed it, so use it for this then. There you go. Problem solved, right? Right?
Well, yes.
Right?
I'm looking. I got a weather app on my phone, and I'm looking at it. They definitely have a hurricane warning
Right.
for New Orleans area
Right.
and surrounding.
Right.
Baton Rouge is just out of the area. Yeah. So
it's coming. It's coming. There's not a question.
I'm looking at that whole thing. I used to go down to Alabama and on the Gulf Coast.
Well, yeah.
And right now, that area.
I pray for them right now. I pray for the people. I pray for the people in the Gulf Coast right now. I really do. I pray for the people in the Gulf Coast right now.
Right now, the Alabama coast has a tropical storm warning.
Right.
It's not as like Gulf Shores and a tropical storm, but
it's got storm surge though.
More to the.
They still got storm. They got storm surge though. You don't realize it. They got to have storm surge. This is going to affect Missouri. This is going to affect also St. Louis. It's going to affect people in Kansas, Tennessee. It's going to Mississippi. All that. Yep. Missouri.
It's liable to come right up through my neighborhood, obviously.
Yeah. So this is.
I remember one year we had heavy winds. They were 80 mile an hour.
Right.
Off a Gulf Coast hurricane that came up through Ohio Valley.
Right.
Ended up not in my neighborhood. Fortunately, my trees didn't get taken out too bad, but one of my neighbors' trees did, and many of my other neighbors that weren't directly next door to me. A lot of people lost trees, and I had a car parked in the driveway, and I pulled it up by the garage, and had I not moved, it would have been crushed by my neighbor's tree.
Right.
I was glad. I was looking at it, I better move that car.
Right.
The tree doesn't look too good.
Right, and we got.
The tree was actually a healthy tree, but it was just blowing the crap out of them. But anyway.
Yeah, it's just sad what's going on right now. It's just really, I
was looking. Where did you say you said there were some earthquakes? I didn't.
Yeah, we got earthquakes. Yeah, we got a little. It's not too bad, but yeah, we got little earthquakes here and there. We got one here. It just got. We got one. Just a 2.5. Well, in Hawaii, we got that one, 2.5. We also got, this is in, down in Mexico. We got a 3.2 just happened. 3.2 just happened. So these are minor. These are minor. Just, it's just a little, it's little shakies. That's all they are. I call them little shakers. Is what they are. Not really anything, not anything too, not anything over. Anything over 6 or 7, I would say, yeah, that's pretty significant. Or 5, that's pretty severe. Well, we got something down here though. We got wait a minute. We got a 5.0 right here on in Guam, by the way. Just happened, a 5.0, and the kilometers of this thing was 2 miles deep, very shallow. Very, very shallow.
Well, it's not showing up on my app. Yeah. I have an app on my phone. I'm looking through it, and I'm like, wondering why that's not showing up. But anyway.
It's right here. Yeah, it's right here. I got it right here. And Guatemala is right here. And G-U-N-E-A, Granada. So, yeah, that's where it is. New Granada. So, yeah, it's where. Towards the Indonesia area, Guam. Great.
Right, yeah. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, well, Anyway. You got
Pakistan.
Pakistan just got hit by a 4. Pakistan just got hit. That's just Afghanistan. Afghanistan at 4.2.
No, really?
Yeah.
Well, the earth shakes a lot.
and that 4.1 aftershock. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. This got right here on USGS. I got right here in front. I'm looking at it right now. I'm on the USGS directly, so I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it from anybody else at all. I'm getting it right from the source, USGS directly, usgs.gov, the usgs.gov. So we need to do, folks. Just go there, and that's that gives you the best information you can get right now.
Well,
And
yeah.
also want to let you know that National Weather Service has issued tornado warning in the following states: the Texas coast, the Texas Gulf Coast, and Mississippi, and this is in the whole entire state of Louisiana under a tornado warning right now. Tornado and hurricane warning right now in the whole state of Louisiana right now.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yep. Yep, we got tornadoes. Yep. We got tornado warnings as far as Nebraska because of this hurricane here, storm surge. So it goes away in Nebraska.
Well, Nebraska's got their own thunderstorms going on right now.
Yeah, I know they got flooding. I know they do. Yeah, we know because we're the news. We're not fake news. We are real news, folks. That's what we are. We are talking
radio. Advisories. I was watching a volleyball tournament in my little town today, which was taking place in one of the streets.
Right.
They filled the street up with sand. But it was very, very, very hot today out here in Ohio. 91 degrees was the high.
Right.
And humidity was high as well. So, but, Mark, the world's insane right now.
The world has gone nuts.
The Bible warns us at times like these, and it makes you wonder every time that we get into situations like we are right now, are we getting close?
Yeah, are we getting really close?
But I know. No man knows the time, and I'm not predicting it.
Right.
And I know we've lived through worse times in our life and in our experience, in our past, and our history.
Right.
I got to say that people that lived in the World War II era had to feel like it was time,
right?
Because that was insane. But it just seems like normal. I was sitting in Columbus today. I went up there to play tennis this morning, and I'm watching people just drive through red lights like nothing. They don't care. They don't care about anybody else but themselves. And we're in this period of time where people don't seem to care about anything but themselves.
Right.
It's a terrible time,
Right. I want to let you know too. I'm on the weatherchannel.com. I'm on the weatherchannel.com right now, and tornado warning on the upper level of north part of Florida. By the way, Ron DeSantis territory. We got tornado warnings in effect now. Tornado warnings. Yeah, we got the tornado warnings are in effect. Ron DeSantis has declared a state of emergency. National Guard has been issued. So they already did that. Now, that's Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis already's got stuff already in play before, and this hurricane's not even there yet. And he's got already National Guard already on Florida, all ready to go. He's got National Guard deployed in for the people who are going to get hit by tornadoes, from the hurricane surge, tornadoes that's going to create. He's already got
people in place.
And he's got emergency. Mobilized. He's got people mobilized. He's got staff. Everything and supplies already for the people already if they need it. It's already there. It's done. That's pretty cool. That's why you call leadership. And this guy was serving in the military. This is what you do. He knows how to do it. He knows how to get things done. That's one thing about these governors who actually support constitutional law. Okay? I'm talking about constitutional law. I'm not talking about business law. I'm not talking about commercial law. No, I'm talking about constitutional law, who support the Constitution, who support we the people, for the people, and by the people. You see, this is what the problem with Democrats. They forgot all about us. They forgot about us. And Ron DeSantis leaves no one behind. Leave no person, no woman or child behind at all. Ron DeSantis said when this hurricane comes, we already have staff already in place already for this emergency. So we are on high alert right now for Florida as far as this national disaster is concerned. He's on high alert. He put the citizens before the government. What he did, he put the citizens before the government.
That's a good thing.
This guy's going to get this, and the people like him so much. He's got 94% approval rating in Florida, and people don't want him to run for president. They don't want him to run for president right now. They love him so much.
I was just reading a scroll here on the television about the bombing there that happened in Afghanistan.
I heard about that too.
169 Afghanis.
Right.
That's just horrific.
Yeah, it is. We told you about that. We predicted that this is going to be. We told you weeks ago. We told you when Biden is going to take over, we're going to have another Vietnam War. We said this in this program.
Well, it's Saigon. It's Saigon all over again.
Yeah,
not
Saigon.
Vietnam War, but it's Saigon all over again.
It is.
And you know, I pray for. I pray for our leadership in this country to make the right decisions.
Right.
And I believe that we're in the middle of terrible decisions that have been made. But I still pray that they open their eyes and ask for help from above, and they help to create a situation that gets our people out, the people that have helped us out, and those Christians that want to leave out of a terrible situation, because I believe that they killed 169 people with one bomb. And I believe that if as soon as we get out of Afghanistan, that they're going to kill many, many more
here in this country,
Christians and sympathizers with the U.S.
Right.
And people that have helped us. And we just need to really, really try to make an effort to get these people out of the country. Whether they come to America or other countries, I don't know. You know, I know I've been listening with Glenn Beck, where he's organized flights to try to get people out, and he's helping get a lot of people out. But he's also faced with opposition from our own State Department, is what I've heard.
Right.
And I'll be interested to hear what the story is when this is all over with, and what they've had to do to make arrangements to help. And you would think with a civilian force that is going in there to try to help, that our government would be more cooperative and helping get those people on the planes and get them out of there.
Right.
I don't understand why they would face any opposition. I truly don't.
Right. I know.
But it's a crazy world we're living in, and hopefully, excuse me, hopefully, like I said, prayers. I was watching, just scrolling through different channels the other day, and I remember at one point where I believe it was CNN that actually said, you know, why are all these people, what are they doing by saying prayers, and you know, what's that going to do to help these people? And today I witnessed a CNN person. I'm not sure who he was, what his position there is, but said, you know, in this time, we should be, instead of criticizing the president, we should all be saying prayers and hope that these people get out of there. And the more they pray, the better. And I thought, I mean, it's true. I want people to pray, and I want that to happen. But how hypocritical are they to be saying that now? But when Trump was president and people were offering condolences and prayers, they were making fun of us. I don't get it. I truly don't get it.
Okay, guess what? And Kamala Harris, where she's at now? Where is she at right now, by the way, Bobby? Where do you think she is?
Wasn't wasn't she in Paris or somewhere? Or
No, she was in Singapore.
Singapore. Okay.
She was in Singapore. Guess where she's at now?
I don't know.
Beijing. She's at Beijing today.
Beijing.
Yep.
The Chinese capital.
Yep.
Yep. Meeting with the Chinese to make sure we're kissing their. Yeah.
We're at Beijing right now.
Well, the Chinese have made strides to go into Afghanistan as we're leaving.
Yep.
And buddy up with these Taliban because they understand
ISIS terrorists.
The Chinese know that in Afghanistan are a lot of the rare earth materials they need, which China has been hoarding.
Yep.
And that's why we're having all these shortages and not being able to make new cars because the chips require these rare earth materials and they can't get them.
Yep.
And the Chinese are trying to take over. The Chinese are making a huge effort to take over the world, trust me. And by hoarding these materials and buddying up with the new Afghanistan regime that's taking over the country, they're going to go in and they're going to take care of business. The Chinese aren't stupid, you know. It's like I said, it's a crazy world we're living in, and right's becoming wrong and wrong's becoming right.
Yeah, it makes no sense. This makes absolutely no sense. I mean, Kaplan, I only call the vice president. There's these people are fraud. I don't even want to say the word vice president because we don't have one. We don't even have a president. We got Huey, Dewey, and Louie running the White House that we have right now. This is actually we got Huey, Dewey, and Louie running the White House. And that's why nothing's getting done. I mean, just think about it. Nothing's getting done. We're in crisis mode. We got foods. We got crisis. We got hurricane crisis. We got a border crisis. We got a war crisis. We got a commie crisis. We have taxes crisis. We got inflation crisis. I mean, everything you possibly throw at us.
No, you don't understand, Mark. There's no inflation. There's no inflation if you take out gas and food and medicine. There's no inflation. I mean, who needs food and gas and medicine? I don't know, man. I know when I go to the grocery store, it's outrageous.
Oh, man.
And I've never been much on, what do I say, shopping around to try to find the best prices for this and that. But, man, you're at the point where you have to do that. You got to think about how much are they charging for this? How much are they charging for that? Hopefully you can find what you need and get at a reasonable price.
Right.
But everything's going up. And, you had the Biden administration, and basically has created this economy that they gave out so much money during this COVID, and they're continuing the moratorium on evictions.
Right.
And they're causing everything to go up.
Yeah, they are.
And so I heard Biden talk to this guy. He was an employer at a restaurant, and he said, I'm having trouble finding help, Mr. President. And the president said, well, you just need to pay more money. And because they can't pass legislation to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, so they're giving enough money away that if you want to pay somebody for a job, you're going to have to pay them more, more and more. And we'll get to the point where, just a regular run-of-the-mill job that anybody can do, doesn't take any special skills, they're gonna make $30,000, $40,000 a year doing this skillless jobs. And then, when you got people making that kind of money in the skills department, you're going to have to start paying them $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year,
Yeah, right.
$90,000 a year, because they have special skills and trades and things like that. And the house, a cost of a house that was $150,000 just a few years ago, it's going to be $300,000.
Right.
And the cost of a hamburger lunch that was
$6
$5 is now going to cost
$12.
Yeah, now going to cost $12 or $15.
Right.
And so it's just a cycle of endless inflation.
I know.
And you have to be able to pay a decent wage to people that have no experience. And most of those people are kids.
Right. And
I did it when I was a kid. I made minimum wage.
So did I.
And back then, minimum wage was $1.35.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember making $1.35 minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Back then, a pair of jeans cost $9 or $8 or whatever.
Now it's $40 or $50.
I remember buying concert tickets for $8.50.
Yeah.
Now they're $150.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my goodness. I mean, it's crazy. Everything. I remember commercials. I remember a commercial that McDonald's used to run, that you could get a hamburger, French fry, and a Coke and get change from your dollar.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, and minimum wage was $1.35.
Right.
Well, how much does lunch cost now? Literally, a hamburger, French fries, and a Coke probably costs $8 or $9. At the same, it's ridiculous.
I can tell you right now at McDonald's right here, I can tell you this, it's $9.50 is what it is right here from McDonald's for us. You're not gonna believe this. A taco at Taco Bell. It used to be $1, right? How much it is now? How much it is now? Do you think?
$3? I don't know.
How about $6?
I have no.
Try $6 for a single taco.
Oh my God!
$6.
Well, I also remember Mark too, back when Volkswagen used to advertise that you could buy a Volkswagen Beetle for I believe it was $19.95.
Yeah, I think that was right. Yeah.
Now go try to buy a Volkswagen Beetle today, and you'll probably spend about $60,000 or $50,000. Of course, they're more well equipped than they used to be. But the truth of the matter is everything goes up. When you raise the minimum wage, everything goes up accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because unions tie their contracts sometimes to the wage increases, and so they go up when the minimum wage goes up. Well, now that they've given people to stay home $600-700 a week, $30,000 a year plus, now to get an employee, there's restaurants here in my town that cannot get enough help, so they're closing.
You're closing, yeah.
They're closing. They're not closing their doors, but you can't go to that restaurant on Thursday night or Wednesday night, and you might get in there on Friday night. But they're closing their down and they're shutting their hours down because they can't find any help. I went to a place last night. The owner is cooking because he can't find a chef, and they were closed for a period of time because they had no one to cook. They've limited their menu now. Their menu has shrunk because they can't find people to help in the kitchen. They can't find enough servers, so they limit their hours and they limit the days they're open.
And I can tell you why they're doing that. I can tell you a big reason why is because of inflation, minimum wage, and people are making more money to stay home. That's exactly what's going on right now.
Yeah, they're making more money on unemployment.
Yeah. And
they can't get people to come. I was talking to a guy the other day who runs a business, and he said they would get 10, 15, 20 people a week that would come in and try to get a job working for them.
Right.
A couple years ago. He said, now we put ads in the paper and no one answers.
Right.
Yeah, and he said back then we didn't have to put an ad in the paper because 10, 15, 20 people would show up at their doorstep wanting to fill out an application to go to work there. Nobody wants to work there.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to work, especially when they can sit home and collect unemployment, or get welfare, or have the government pay their freaking rent because of this moratorium. You know. I have a family member that literally told me he makes more money now in his rentals than he could before.
Wow.
Government's paying the rent. And before he had to go collect it, and he would get excuses and blah, blah, blah. We don't have to worry about it right now. He's loving the fact that the government's paying all these people's rent.
Damn.
They can't pay it.
So the government's subsidizing them, huh?
Yeah, the government's paying rent.
Oh,
don't think for 1 minute that the land. I mean, maybe some land. I don't know how it's working for some landlords, but I know that in many cases, the government is paying the rents for these people.
Damn.
You know, and the government's not only paying the rent, but then giving them money to live. And why go to work?
Right.